example 4b, excuse me, 4a, we have here 1/4 x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. Here again we have one that has a fraction. So we only have one denominator, which is the 4 in the denominator, so we're going to multiply both sides, all terms, by 4. So the x squared term, the 4's are going to divide out. So we're left with x squared minus 16x minus 20 equals to 0. Then we're going to find our a, b, and c. And we have for a 1, for b negative 16, for c negative 20. And let's substitute those numbers in for substitute those numbers into the quadratic equation for a, b, and c. We have x is equal to negative times negative 16 plus or minus the square root of negative 16 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 20 all over 2 times 1. We have 16 plus or minus the square root of, we'll find 16 squared, 256. And then we have negative 4 times 1 times negative 20. That gives us positive 80 all over 2. Add 256 and 80. We have the square root of 336 all over 2. Now, we need to find factors of 336 where one of its factors is a perfect square. So, if you think about when we talked about radicals, especially when we have 3-digit, 4-digit numbers and we have those large numbers where we can write the prime factors of 336, we can do it that way. Okay? Just for the sake so that you can see this, factors of 336, what times what gives us 336? We have 3 times 112. We break down 112. We have 2 and 56. We break down 56. We have 2 and 28. Break down 28. We have 2 and 14. And break down 14. We have 2 and 7. Okay? So if you notice 2, 2, 2, and 2, we multiply those together, that is 16. So that's your square root, that perfect square root factor. So here we have 16 plus or minus the square root of 16 times 21. Take the square root of 16. Well, let me say this first. All over 2. I'm getting ahead of myself. Now take the square root of 16, which is 4. So we have 16 plus or minus 4 square root of 21 all over 2. Now, look at your numerator and just look at 16 and 4. Can we factor out a common factor for 16 and 4? Yes, a 4. We can factor out a 4 and we're left with 4 plus or minus the square root of 21 all over 2. And what's outside the parenthesis, 4 divided by 2, that can be reduced. So our answer is 2 times the square root of 4 plus or minus the square root of 21. There we go.